Welcome to the first Life Unplugged podcast. I have my friend Jonathan Coppenrath with me here today. You want to give us a little bit about yourself before we start?
Yeah, man. So I am Johnny Coppenrath. I am from the very beautiful small town of Lunenburg, Massachusetts. Graduated from Lunenburg High School. I went to Louisiana State University for my freshman year of college, and I currently commute to UMass Lowell. I'm a certified personal trainer and currently own my own online coaching business.
Yep. So, little background about me and Johnny. Been friends since what? Like, were we in the same first grade class, or was it fourth grade? When I started playing football. Yeah, so me and John have known each other since like fourth grade. We grew up with each other playing football. Went to the same high school for a little bit. I transferred for a little bit. I did my little own thing. Really good dude. One of my best friends I grew up with. So I thought it was a great thing to have someone like this start my series of podcasts. We're going to dive into the college world of kind of how to work out, how you can train your body while in the college environment. So, like, I know he wasn't a college athlete last year. I played college football, so it helped me a little more than other people. But seeing him work out, like, what? You just work out, you just wake up at what? Like 4 a.m.? Just lift at 5, something like that? Like,
a little. I mean, yeah, honestly, especially at school, like, I had to, depending on the week, like, I had to mix and match all over the place. Like, some days it was up at 5, out the door by 5:30. Other days it was, like, I'd be heading to the gym at, like, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was really, like, whatever I had to do, basically, to get over there.
So, I don't want to get very personal, but it is unplugged, dude. So you dove yourself into the personal stuff. I'm wondering, and I think a lot of people wonder, like, what got you into lifting and like getting on this regimen of making your own food every day, food planning. Like, I think everyone kind of wants to know, like, why you started this journey.
Yeah, I mean, so for anyone who doesn't know, for me it was like right around COVID when I first started taking everything a little more seriously. So prior to, and that was our like spring of sophomore year of high school for us. So prior to that, honestly, the only like fitness stuff that I was really involved in was sports. So we had like football lifts every once in a while, and that had been the only thing that I'd really been a part of.
Was it with Boone?
Yeah.
Yeah, good dude.
Yeah, dude, I love him, man. But yeah, so that my sophomore year, that was the year I took off from having been injured the next year or previous year.
Mm-hmm.
So I hadn't played football at all that fall, so I was just sitting. I played a little bit of AAU basketball, but like very minimal activity going on. I'd basically been like progressively gaining weight from like right around 7th grade until well into sophomore year.
So what do you like? Sorry to cut you off, but like, what do you think that weight gain was from? Like just stress or like? I know you were they changed you to alignment. So was it like, oh, I have to play mine now. I have to gain weight. Was that like a thing too, or?
Honestly, no. Like that is what I used because it made me feel better. But like realistically, it was just laziness. Like I was just had no idea.
Yeah. Well, in your defense, Mama Cop makes some really good food, and she makes a lot of it. So I understand it is hard to stay skinny in that household. I mean, you can't say no to her either. Because you feel bad. You feel awful.
Italian grandparents, like you're always around it. So it's hard to, and they love it. They will sit there and feed you plates for hours
Yeah.
if you'll take them.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, that was for me. Like right around when COVID started, that was like the initial like just being at home locked down, and it was basically like I was looking in the mirror one day, and I was like, bro, like I can't be an effect.
Yeah, you want to show them? So
Yeah.
what? This was 8th grade, going into freshman year, or freshman year maybe.
This was in between freshman and sophomore year.
Okay. This shocks.
That was
I'm so sorry. I didn't. I just remember. I remember you like that. Like
I was a big dude.
You were a big dude. You're a big dude. It was pretty funny. I mean, not funny that you were that big, but I remember you started taking out seriously. I think right when I left, when I transferred to Pittsburgh. I think it was our freshman year, and I came. When did I see you guys again? It was a couple of months after I transferred. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, that's that. I didn't recognize you at first, dude. I'm like, this is a whole different dude. And that started.
I got a good story.
Yeah, go for it. Tell your story, dude.
So yeah, that was over COVID. That was basically like I was looking in the mirror. I was looking at that version of myself, and I was like, man, we don't know how long we're about to be locked up in the house for. Like, I can't keep living like that. So I did hours of, looking stuff up online. Like, I got to put something together. Started with all body weight because that's all we had. And then eventually when gyms reopened with like the masks or whatever, I got back in there. But over that time period from like spring of 2020 until that was the year we had the spring football season, junior year.
Yeah.
We had training at the end of the summer. We were allowed like 10 practices or whatever.
Yep, I remember those. Those sucked. Those are not fun.
So I remember I showed up, and Dawson, our buddy Dawson, his dad was helping coach a little bit. And I mean, I grew up knowing the Powells. Like, we obviously knew each other very well. I knew Coach Steve my whole life to that point. And so we're hanging out after practice, like running routes, stuff like that. And Dawson and I and Adam was our quarterback at the time. Was over there, and Coach Steve comes over, and so we're in line. We run the route, catch the ball, bring it back, and so I come over, and Coach Steve's like, he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey man, what's your name?" And we're all sitting there. We're all like, yeah, come on. And Dawson's like, "Dad, like, it's not funny, man." And so Steve's looking around. He's like, what are you guys talking about? And Dawson's like, "Dude, that's Johnny, Dad." And he was like, "Johnny?" And he's like, "Dad, that's Johnny Coppenrath." And he was like, "Oh man, you're Johnny." He's like, "Oh," because that was from the last time I'd seen him. I was at my heaviest, like 215, 210.
Yeah.
And then I got down to like 150, 155.
That's
crazy. And my hair had grown. So yeah, but that was always that was my favorite thing. Like, I was like, bro, like, that's literally being unrecognizable.
So I don't want to I don't want to get like too deep, like too heavy, but I know during COVID your dad got sick, right? He got really sick. So I remember I was talking to you about that, and you were like, you mentioned like, I'm starting eating right, like, for my dad, and I thought that was a really cool thing, because like, I don't know, it is really hard to get on those type of diets and get on those meal plans and wake up every day and say, I want to do this. Like, I know personally some days I'm like, do I really want to work out? Like, it does take a lot out of you, but I feel like you're a great person to look at to be motivated for, because you didn't have to. You have you have no reason to work out. Like, I don't want to say no reason, but like, you're doing it. Yeah, you're doing it because you love it, and you're like, you don't want to look like that again. And then you have your dad for motivation because he had to eat really strict when he was sick, which was I don't know, that must how was that like change your perspective of working out when your dad got sick like that?
I mean, it just put health as a whole into perspective for me, because I'm like, it's easy for us to be like, oh man, we're young, like, eat whatever and do whatever. But I mean, that's like, I go to bed one night, next morning he's in the hospital, and that's where he was for a while. It just put into perspective for me. Like, I'm like, excuse me, I'm just like, dang, like, it hits close to home when you realize, like, nobody is immortal to sickness. Like, you can't, there's no, like, all right, yeah, this person will get it, this person won't. Like, if you don't take care of yourself, it's going to happen. And it wasn't even from the choices he was making then. It was from, like, a long period of time. Like, he had dealt with that issue. So, yeah, that was a huge part of it. And, like, especially when by the time he got out and was back home, like you said, he's on, he had to be on a wicked strict diet and where he eats and drinks. So I was like, dang, like, if this dude can do it and he's on a work schedule and does everything for me, like, the least I can do is, like, maybe eat one less bag of Oreos every night and
I feel that. Yeah, I remember. I think I want to say it was like 5 months later. Bob was at my house smoking a cigar with my dad. I'm like, were you like dying? Like, a couple months, like, you were on your deathbed, dude. Like, what are you doing here in the middle of COVID? Let me tell you, these two old dudes are just chatting it up in my backyard. And he's like, dude, I don't know, I had to. It's fun. I'm like, that's odd. That's crazy. Yeah, that's deep, dude. Like, I couldn't imagine that. Like, I know my reasons to get into all the weightlifting. Like, obviously, I always wanted to outperform everyone. Like, that was my goal. Like, I had aspects of playing Division 1. I think all you guys knew that. Like, I worked at that. But we've both, so not a fun fact, but we've both dealt with a lot of injuries. You've had a couple.
A lot of the same.
A lot of the same recurring. So, unlike Johnny, I've had to get surgery for all of my injuries. So I've had, what was it? Freshman year, ACL tear. I got cheap shotted out of bounds. I think you were at the game. You remember?
Yeah, I was on the team.
Yeah. So what? I was running up the sideline. I ran out, and after the play, like 5 seconds, I got cheap shotted. Knee was planted. ACL goes. So I know that's really hard to prevent injuries when you don't know it's coming. So, what injury? What was yours again? It was a growth thing, right?
So freshman year, I missed. It was like the second practice in the summer, like preseason. I strained my hip flexor doing gaps at the end of practice.
I wonder who made you guys do that. We're not going to name names, but I have a feeling who made you guys do that. That's a great discussion for another day.
But, I know it's like similar to a hamstring thing. Like, if you don't let it take its course, like, it's just there nagging forever. So, that had me out till like mid-season, and I mean I was playing JV ball at that point.
It's still football
Mid-season.
though.
Yeah.
Solid, yeah.
And then first game that I played in that year, probably second quarter, muddy, nasty field. He planted, dude went right in and backwards, hyperextended it.
You're lucky you didn't like tear anything. That's crazy.
That's what. What was? We went to the same orthopedic. What was his name?
Our man, Dr. Leahy, dude. He, Dr. Leahy Jr. If you guys want to get a good orthopedic surgeon, go to Dr. Leahy Jr. Out of, where is he? Worcester, Mass. So he's the orthopedic surgeon for the Holy Cross football team. So he's always at their games. He supports the athletics, but great dude. I remember I referred you to him, didn't I?
Yeah. We went there and we were like, oh yeah, like Duncan. He was like, oh yeah, like he remembered you, like he remembered his patients. And
yeah, he knows me a little too well, which he doesn't like, but it's okay. Me and him are friends.
Yeah, but so yeah, he thought, he was like, yeah, man, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that sounds like ACL. So
devastated. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. He's like, all right, MRI. So we go. It's the classic, like you go get your MRI and then you gotta wait like a couple days to go see him again.
Yeah.
And you're sitting in there, kicking your legs on the bed, like just waiting for him to come in and be like, yeah, you need to get surgery.
You're hoping for good news.
You had just gone through. This was like right after your.
Devastated, dude.
I was like, dang, bro, we're about to be there in the elevator. That's cool.
We did still share it. We still did share it. That.
You might have the record.
No, I think we do. We do. I think we have the record for the elevator use. So
because that goes back to middle school.
Well, I don't think I've ever had any knee or ankle injuries in middle school. I just had the shoulder dislocation, which sucked. Yeah. Remember the video we have of Colin? He sees it happen, and he's just like this.
Yeah.
I think that's the funniest video of all time. It's my fault. I arm tackled. So, continue. I'm interested.
So then he comes in, he's like, dude, we see this type of injury like maybe twice a year, if that. And it was a fractured tibial plateau. So the top of my tibia, like chip fractured.
So
caused the same symptoms as ACL, but all the ligaments were fine.
So you didn't have to get anything removed? Like, you just have a piece floating in there still?
It was like a little like crack on it. And then it was like
like an earthquake, like whatever, the fissure, what is it called?
Yeah.
You know, like when there's an earthquake, there's a line. So you gotta. I need to stop swearing, dude. This is. I think we're both from Massachusetts, okay? It's in our vocab, just like sometimes you just swear.
I'm doing good.
You are doing good for once. I'm the one I'm doing bad, and I editing is gonna be fun. But so you just had a crack, like in your leg, like a little crack in your leg, or where your patella is.
Yeah, he was like, all right, yeah, like you gotta wear this brace and use crutches for a couple weeks, and you're good to go.
You're so lucky.
Yeah,
but it affected you until what, like the end of senior year of high school, right? It bothered you just a little.
Well, yeah. So the thing was, when I went to PT, I still went to PT to rehab that leg.
Mm-hmm.
I did, like, it's like known that if you're rehabbing your left leg, for example, you gotta reciprocate that to your right leg.
Yep, I know. Yeah.
So, did not do anything to my right leg whatsoever. And then I think it was, oh man, it might have been a year after that. So our sophomore year, the winter, I dislocated my
Playing
kneecap.
basketball, right? Yeah, I remember you texted me about that one time. You're like,
yep.
I messed up the knee again. I'm like, doing what? You're like, oh, I'm a baller. Okay, this kid thought he was like LeBron James. He forgot he was like 5'10".
Yeah, no, at that point I was like 5'7", 280.
Yeah, you're a big dude. You're a big dude. I mean, he's not small now, guys. He's pretty yoked for a dude. What are you, like 180, 170?
Yeah, I'm like right above him.
Yeah, like he's not a small dude. But you look at him, you're like, oh, this dude is like big. He's kind of scary. No, Johnny is not the least scariest human you'll ever meet. Least scary. Even when you try to be like intimidating, I don't think you have it. I think you're too nice. Like, I know you've seen me mad plenty of times, and I'll get mad. Yeah, he's not small, dude. That's funny. So you went through those injuries. You PT'd. When did you start realizing you were losing weight? Because I know you were chubby. You're a little big dude.
Yeah, I mean, it was at that point I had become so like looking at the scale like genuinely like broke me, like because I was like, dang, bro.
Yeah.
And especially if you're big like I was, and you start like strength training, like lifting or gaining, like working out to build strength, your weight on the scale doesn't necessarily plummet right away because you're building muscle.
Yeah, muscle weighs heavier than fat, right?
Right. Yeah. And so that's I would look at the scale. I'm like, dude, like I've been eating like a rabbit for 3 weeks and it's the same. And then it was like, I was like, all right, I got to start taking pictures of myself.
Yeah.
It was so uncomfortable because I'm like, bro, I'm fat. And I honestly, like, I just kept working and taking pictures. And then one day I wasn't fat. And I was like, hey, here we are.
Yeah, I remember you posted once in a while. And I'm like, the body's changing. I'm like, that is crazy. Because a lot of people, you don't see it doing it anymore. Like, nowadays, it's like, it's really sad. Like, I know a lot of people that want to look that physique, but they just don't do anything about it. They'll listen to the internet. And that's a great place to go. Don't get me wrong. Like, you can do a lot with the internet nowadays, but you need to find someone who went through it and did the, you probably looked up on the internet all the time, like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that?
Yeah.
How do I get this? Like, it's a great tool. But you probably hit those things, you did those things that were like, okay, this was not right. Why did Google tell me this was okay? Yeah. You're like, this is not, this is awful.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, it's 16-year-old me that had hardly ever been in the gym before, working out at home. And I'm sitting there like, all right, let me Google how to lose weight and get abs fast. And then I'm sitting here listening to a 25-year-old that's worked out for a decade and has taken trend for 4 years and looks like shredded.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there listening to what you say. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should do that. And it's like, you gotta like, that's the thing with the internet is some stuff is great and it will change your life, and other stuff, it will just send you further in the wrong direction.
Yeah. So, shoot, I'm blanking out right now, dude. We were talking about weight. Oh my god, I'm blanking out. Oh! So, fun fact, Johnny it's your own company, personal trainer business. So he's a personal trainer. He's my trainer, actually. He's training me right now. In the spring, I'll be trying out for UH, so that's University of Hawaii's football team, which is D1. So he has workouts based around football for me to work out. So I've noticed lately you've been doing a lot of videos on your Instagram feed, and it's just talking about bad habits. Like, do you really want to do this? Because like you're talking to a majority of college life students, I want to say. Because I know as a college student, I like to go out once in a while. Like, once in a while is not bad, like you said, but some college students do it every night. They'll do it every single night or every other night. So what I've been dying to know, what influenced you to start making those videos about just talking about that? And I know you're implementing, like, you're Christian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've been implementing your Christian beliefs into those videos. Like, you're not overly forcing it. You're just mentioning it, and I think it's really good. I think it's like I started watching those, and I'm like, wow, this actually hits. Like, right now on my wall, that made me influence. I wrote on a piece of paper. Sounds a little dumb. I wrote on a piece of paper. I'm like 100 push-ups, 40 sit-ups before I go to bed every single night, or like an hour before I go to bed, so I can I'm not, heart rate isn't up.
Getting juiced up, yeah.
So it's like 100 push-ups, 40 sit-ups, and it also says like be the D1 athlete I want to be, because that's still my goal. So basically, I'm asking, what made you start making those videos for, everyone to see? Like, were you embarrassed about it? Like, were you worried like people were gonna be like, dude, stop talking about this. Like, this is kind of stupid. Like, I don't want to hear about this. So I want to hear, like, I think a lot of people are interested in this.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been doing. Obviously, we started our program in like July or June.
Yeah. Right before I went to boot camp.
I didn't post anything. Like, I posted pictures of myself maybe once.
Yeah.
And I'd post, like, on occasion, just pictures of, the site and things like that. And, as I went a little deeper into it and got more into, like, full online coaching and using the app and really trying to, like, integrate myself more into, like, people's routines. Like, I was just sitting there, I'm like, man, like, I really want to reach more people. Like, it's one thing for me to be able to, like, help a friend out.
Yeah.
But, like, I know that there is people all over the place that feel the way I felt about themselves, like, 2, 3, 4 years ago. And I was like, man, like, if I want people to reach out to me and feel comfortable reaching out to me, they got to know me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to start putting myself out there. And you are absolutely right. You hit that right on the head. It sucked. Like, the first time I posted a video,
yeah,
I sat there, like, watching it for, like, an hour. So I was like, bro, someone's going to comment and, like, make fun of me.
Yeah, I think that first video came out, and because everyone knows who you are. You're a great dude. And if somehow you don't like someone, I'll be shocked. Because that person must have done something so bad that they got Johnny Coppenrath mad. And that's hard, because, like, we'd be playing football, and you would be mad. You'd be having a blast. I'm like, how are you doing this? Yeah, I remember I saw the first video, and I'm like, it wasn't even on I didn't see it first on your Instagram. I saw it on 25 other people's, being like, this is great, this is awesome. Like, I think it's such a cool thing to talk about, and, like, talk about, like, the party aspect of college. Like, I know you were at LSU last year. I know you got a little jiggy. I know you partied a little. tell me how the college student, because some college kids really want to experience that college life, because when you hit the real world, you're in the real world. Like right now, college is not the real world. You're still in school. You have one thing. You're doing college school. Other than that, working out, maybe playing a sport here and there. But could we hear about like how the college student can like implement that into their life? Like obviously they still want to go out and stuff. Like how you did it at LSU, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for me. So yeah, I mean, first semester last year, I had no like. Anytime I smelt it in the air, I went out. I would get like 2, 3, 4 times a week if I could. In the dorms, house parties, bars, tailgates, any way I could get it. And that's exactly what I thought. Like I went there, I was like, man, I'm going to like one of the biggest party schools in the country.
Yeah.
I got a chance to let loose, and I feel like that's what hit me is you go through high school and they're like, man, like you guys got to figure it out. When you get to college, it's no joke. And I was sitting there, I was like,
it's super easy. It's super easy.
This is easier than anything.
Especially if you know how to like maintain your time around things and do your work. It's not that hard. If you hold stuff back, yes, it will get hard. Like if you wait last minute, like some people I know, like myself. If you wait last minute, it kind of sucks. But I mean, yeah. So we were both freshmen last year, so I feel like that's a big thing about it. Not saying we didn't have free. I feel like our senior year we had a lot of freedom to do really anything we wanted. I feel like our senior year was really easy for us. Like I don't know why, but it was. I don't feel like we did school. Like I just felt like we went there, and
it was literally showing up for 80 days.
Yeah, I mean, what? So from where we're from, we don't really like our group doesn't really say parties. We call them what? We call them functions. Yeah. So we'd have a bunch of functions, and I feel like that partied some of us out already when we hit the college life. Obviously not you. You were at LSU. You had a little fun. I know you came back and told us some stories, which were really cool. So what made you like? Because now I know you. You know, I mean, you go to a party like to hang out with the boys and stuff, and like all your friends, see like all the girls too. But what made you like kind of flip that switch and be like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this stuff anymore. Like not anymore, but like I don't really like it. Like it's fun hanging out with those people, but I'm not into that much.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, like I mean, like you said, like you just said, like partied out. That's essentially what happened to me at school. Like after I got home in the winter for winter break. By the time I went back to school, like I was sitting there. That was about when I started working on my personal training certification as well. And I was sitting there one weekend. I'm like, man, I was like, I don't know where I've wound up, but the fact that I'm stressed out because I don't know how to fit partying into my schedule, like the fact that I have parties and that type of life implemented into my schedule, like I was like, bro, this isn't me. And I kind of was like, college is, especially like it's expensive. It's like you're there for a purpose. Like you have a reason. Like you want to get in, you want to get your degree, you want to meet people. And yeah, you want to have fun, but there comes a point where the fun isn't actually fun and it's just all you know how to do.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me. Like I was like, I don't even enjoy it, but I'm going to do it because it's all I knew. And so that was like my thing. Like I was like, man, this is bad that my only way of like having fun is drinking. Like I was like, like life had lost a gear almost. Like I was like, I can't just go have fun normally. And yeah, I mean, that's what started. Like, I was like, I'm in this weekend. I still remember it was one weekend in February. I was like, I'm in. Like, I'm not going out with y'all. I'm hanging in. I was like, I got some studying I got to get done. I got to start opening the books for my personal training. And my suite mates, man, they were cool with it. They're like, hey, man, yeah. And they were like, we're gonna go out. And I was like, yeah, man, don't hang back. I'm studying. It's not like we're doing anything. And that was, I never looked back since then. So I haven't drank like that since February. And I feel great. Like, I have so much more fun in life now. Like, I'll go outside, I'll go hiking.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah. Well, you have the Jeep too. You have the Jeep. You have the nice Jeep.
That helps a
lot. Pause on this for a second. I just realized I am so sorry. I have my gaming username under my name, where my name should be. I have Mr. Grubs. I just noticed that. So my name's I'm actually Doug Porges. That is just my gaming. I'm a gamer. You know that. Fun fact, actually, I'll have to show you when I get home. You know how I won a national championship last year in esports. So yeah, I won Rainbow Six Siege. Really cool game. Really fun game if you play with friends. So I'm waiting at home right now. There's a ring. It's national championships. Has my name on it. Really sick. So that's my username I use, Mr. Grubs. That will be changed eventually. That's my fault. This will not be edited out. But I just had to say that because I was looking at it as you were talking, and I'm like, that's not. I messed up. That's my fault.
I didn't even notice you said that, and then I was like, "Oh shoot, bro!"
Yeah,
I didn't know how to use this app. I was like, "What does my name say?"
Yeah, I'm looking at your name. I'm like, and I looked at mine. I'm like, this is great. This is such a great situation for myself. Like, so back to what we were talking about. So I know, like, a lot of, like, what you look like, how you work out, who you work out with is a lot of mental stuff. Like, I know, I had a really good coach, Coach Raph, really good strength training coach. I think you heard what happened to him all over. Yeah. Rest in peace, Coach Raph. But he was a lifter dude. He liked lifting. He liked coaching. He liked to work out with his players. Like, he liked to help us. And I think a lot of that, once it's taken away from you, like either from injuries, if you get fired, that's a lot on your mental health. Like, I know between our injuries, I know you could definitely tell we were struggling mentally. Just like, am I really gonna recover from this? Like, I was luckily enough, my freshman year, I had a girlfriend, so that helped. Like, the support with that was really nice. But also, like, family support, like, you'll be fine. Obviously, you know my dad. You know how he talks to us. you know he's like, yeah, back in my day.
I was thinking about this earlier. I need to say it. So, 7th grade, we had All-Stars.
I'm so sorry.
So we said, our bang team was stacked. So that was...
Yeah, so that was our Super Bowl run, was it not?
Yeah.
That was our Super Bowl run. Lost to Shrewsbury.
Got beat down.
Hey, at least... Hey, the quarterback's at Duke right now for basketball. 6'9". He's 6'8", 6'9". He's a 4-star stud. Sweet. I don't feel as bad losing to him anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's like I lost to that guy. People see him on the roster. I'm like, I lost to him.
I lost to him. He's about to make a lot of money.
Oh yeah. So that was I think Coach Phil said like 7 or 8 of us that year total.
Oh, it was. If he could, he would have sent more. Our team was stacked. Like, we were stacked. Like, we're not underestimating this, guys. When we say we were stacked, we were stacked. Like, we were pretty good. If we didn't have to play, you know who wore the blue back then, that might have cheated a little. We could have made it pretty far. I know you guys. I know you guys are gonna be watching this. And you guys cheated. Please don't take my shoes away, though. I love you for my shoes.
I love him.
Oh, great dude to know. Such a funny human. But yeah, so back to the All-Stars. Coach Phil said like 8 of us.
Yeah, so nationals that year, Florida team. It was you, Phil, Sam.
I want to say was 7th grade. So I want to say it was
Donovan.
It was Donovan, Nico, and Lorenzo too. I think, or it might have one of them might have been 8th grade year. I can't remember. Oh, his 8th grade year was Lorenzo.
I was second. Yeah, I think Donovan and Nico was 7th.
Yeah. So let's tell them about the great idea All-Stars had.
Yeah, so me, Ryan, and Richie were on the normal All-Star.
Yeah.
And they had the fantastic idea of freezing cold. I mean, this goes into, at that point, it went into November or something.
It was cold. It was cold. I remember. It was like the ground was like frozen. It was cold.
Yeah. In Marlboro, I believe, is where the practices were.
Yeah, it was somewhere in Marlboro. It was actually a decent field. It wasn't bad. It was even. But sorry, you talk.
So, beautiful idea for the regular All-Star team to scrimmage the Florida National All-Star team.
Yeah, so background to this real quick. So you have the regular All-Stars, so everyone is able to try out for the national team. But they already had their picked out guys. Like, I want to say in mass, we had some studs in the class of 2022 growing up. And the national All-Star team, obviously, you try to get best of the best. Like, there's FBU too, which is kind of... FBU is FBU. We beat them, by the way. We did scrimmage them after you guys and beat them. We low-key smoked them. It was pretty cool. But, yeah, so, like, you have the guys who play in the local All-Star game, which is awesome, too. Which is really cool. You're getting kind of fuzzy on here.
I was just going to say, I don't know why I'm tweaking.
I don't know.
Maybe I was moving around too much.
Oh, turn off the camera. There, yeah, I fixed it. Sweet. Yeah, so the actual, like, nationals, we had Thomas Hirsch, you had me, you had Phil, you had Sam. Did you think we had Dudek that year? We had Dudek. No, Dudek was 8th grade. But we had Spoon, Connor Salmon, one of the biggest dudes you'll ever, like, he's a big dude. And he was big through middle school. Like, he wasn't small. Yeah. I don't know what he ate. I think he would eat a whole cow. I think that's his dinner every night. Like, he wasn't fat. He was a running back. So he was built.
He was fast, bro.
Scary. He was scary to tackle. But go on, like your point of view of this.
Yeah, so I mean, keep in mind, I was 7th grade, so I was probably like 5'6", if that.
Yeah.
Like 190, 200 of just straight pudginess, like not an ounce of muscle on my body. So I was a little meatball, but I was a dang good offensive guard.
You were actually one of our best ones. I know Coach Phil vouched for you to come down to Florida with us. I remember he's like, "Oh, this kid is super." They're like, "Well, we have someone else."
Yeah.
It wasn't that good. I forget who it was, but it was not that good. It wasn't Sam. Sam played anything.
I will say, playing on the same side of the ball as Sam made life so easy as a lineman because I knew that I played guard. He played tackle. I was guard. I was either guard to Sam as my tackle or guard to Jackson Dance as my tackle.
Big dude too.
So it's like if I ever had trouble with anyone, I just push him to my outside a little bit, and then I have an absolute mammoth of a human being next to me to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. And Sam only got bigger from there.
Yeah. So we're scrimmaging. I'm playing guard on the All-Star team. I don't remember which one of the 6+ foot, 300+ pound.
I think it was. I think it was Antoine. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it was Antoine because I remember.
I really liked it.
I just remember it was cold. So
blows up the center and the quarterback at once at the same time.
I remember it.
And
I was on defense at the time too because they had a set with me in, and I think I blitzed actually. I don't know why I was blitzing in scrimmage, but I did.
And the thing was, I actually don't know what the play was, but all I know is I pulled, and I actually had my best rep of that night against one of the huge DNs. Like my hands were here to me, but it was his waist.
When he says they were huge, they were like 6'2" in 7th grade. They were big. And they just got bigger from there. In high school, they were monsters. Those guys played at St. John's and stuff, which is a prep school where we're from. Really good prep school. So they're big dudes. It's not fun. I mean, it was fun playing with them, not against them.
Oh, not against, absolutely. So I feel I'm sitting there. Of course, I pull my back to the play.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, dang, I just had a good rep. Boom! I feel someone hit the back of my legs. So I head over heels all over the place.
I think he tackled the
ankle
back.
twist. Ankle twist as I come down, and someone lands on the twisted ankle. So that thing snapped. And I was like, I had never gotten injured before. That was like my first big injury. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, my ankle hurts. And I got up and started to like hobble off. And then I just like fell.
Yeah. And it was your mom at practice at the time with you, right? Your dad didn't bring you. Your dad was at work.
It was my dad.
Oh, it was your dad? Oh. He had something wrong that he couldn't carry you. I don't know. I think he broke his foot or something. I don't remember. I know he did not carry you.
I think he went.
Or was he gone? He might have went to get food.
Yeah. He was out.
Yeah, he was.
He was coming back and getting he had just gotten back, and he went to go get his truck and bring it around so that I didn't have to walk up. And so your dad was there, and so, like I said,
this hill was not. It was this. It went up. It was almost vertical. And you were not a light kid.
I was a 200-pound sack of potatoes.
Yeah, you were, Johnny.
I'm sitting there looking at the hill, and I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna die here. Like, I can't get up that. No. So your dad came down.
Oh, he was so tight. He was like, I I was in my car. I was watching my movies. He's like, no, actually, he's probably playing a stupid phone game. He's been playing for like 100 years. He's always like this on the couch. Like, he's like, what do you want? We're like, my dinner. He's like, after my phone game, we're in a bad. So, explain your part of the story.
Yeah, he comes over, he's just like standing, he kind of puts one hand like around my back, takes the other one, scoops my legs up, so he has me like this, like a prince carrying a princess.
Yeah.
Up the entire hill. And so I'm just like sitting like this in his arms, carries me all the way up. I remember he like plops me down in my dad's truck, and it was my dad. It was like 2012 Ford F-150 at that point, so it was like
it was raised. It was raised. Yeah.
Me up into it, and I wish I remember exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines.
He insulted you. He insulted you. Probably.
He's like, "Would hurt you to lay off the like something."
Yeah, like Oreos or something. I remember. Yeah, because he says that almost every time. He won't let you live that down ever. I don't know what's it with the old guys not living those things down, but anytime they see one of us, they have to mention the worst thing possible. Like what Coach Phil will do all the time to us. He's like, remember back in 5th grade? No, Coach. We don't remember. Tell us. Tell us again what we did.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, my dad likes to make fun of us a lot. In a good way. Don't take it. Sorry, Dad. Sorry. Oh, he's gonna get so tight. He's gonna call me and be like, why are you saying this stuff about me? What's wrong with you?
You're safe, though. You're in Hawaii. I'm right down the road.
Yeah. Nah, he'll hang up and be like, I have to go play my phone game real quick. Dude.
Good stuff, though. Never anything too personal. Just a good,
No, unless you get him really mad. Which he'll probably just throw you. Like, he would just... So, yeah, my dad's an ex-cop, so he has that background, so it's, I think you're all terrified of him, actually. You're all...
He used to show me different, like, what are they called? Like the pressure points where you can like pinch someone.
No, he was just a bully for that. He would you know the pinch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam is petrified of it. I remember in practice it would be so this is when we were younger. It was like because he helped coach around when we were like 5th grade. Because then he had to go, he got deployed. He's a military guy. He got deployed wherever. So, but it would be cold, and you just hear, oh, coach, why do you do that? And we look over, and it's Sam, like, running away. My dad just pinched him. Super funny. No one...
He would get you, though. He'd be like, hey, come here a minute. And you walk over and listen to her son, and then you just, like, he just get you with it, and you'd be like...
You're like, you're like, Coach, I can't practice anymore. I'm hurt. I just can't.
I can't do the wagon wheel. No wagon wheel.
No, the wagon wheel, dude. I feel like we had some really good players, and we had some not really good players. And I'm not naming names, but some players would cry during the wagon wheel. Because what was it? One day we got the coaches really angry at us. I know we had to do it for like a minute. We were a minute. It was not fun. You think kids have energy? We were coached like we were in high school already. It was not ever like practice. Like it was pretty intense. To be honest, I wish Coach Phil coached us a little in high school. That would have been awesome. I know some people had preferences on the dude, but he was just he was a hard-nosed football coach. Him and Coach Josh, they knew what they were doing. Like,
I mean, there was a reason we were as good as we were.
Yeah, I mean, I think we still hold. I don't want to say we do. I think we hold the record for the most shutouts in AYF history in Massachusetts. We had. So, if you didn't know, a shutout is when you don't let the other team score. But the crazy part about our shutouts, we had a really good offense. Like, all our running backs were solid. Our line was solid. Bill was starting to being able to throw more. Because we were young. So it was what? We would beat teams by like 50-0. Like, it was bad.
Coach had to write letters. Coach was writing the mercy rule letters.
Yeah. Because we would put, so we had like first strings, you had second strings, and you had third strings. And first strings would get pulled after we're up by like 20. So like, not on defense. First strings would always play defense. But like our third strings would be scoring, and we're like, we're good. We're good. That's the year we got cheated out of the Super Bowl. And Anthony, I don't know what you did, but you cheated. It was my fault though, because I did fumble. I should have had a touchdown. He never lets me live that down either. I just doesn't work. It's Reminder, you didn't play football your freshman year of high school, right? Or was it your sophomore year? Sophomore, you took a break, right? Because of the injury and stuff. That's crazy. I could never like. So you ever think of playing like? Cause you were pretty good at basketball your senior and junior year. You ever think of playing college ball like at the D? Because obviously we're short. Basketball is not in the D1 perspective. Probably not even D2 because they're still tall. But D3, like you can still get to a good school and play some sports. You ever think about that?
No, not really. I mean, the only time it ever really crossed my mind was football a little bit for like D3 level stuff. After junior, senior year, but
yeah,
not bad. Basketball was always more of like, it was a lot less stressful because I was just a role player. So like I would just
not senior year. Senior year, you were one of the guys who actually contributed a little.
Yeah, I remember. It was just so much like, it was like a laid back,
less intense.
I just enjoyed it. But yeah, and then football was. I mean, because that was junior year, I dislocated that kneecap the second time.
Yeah.
And that was the shortened like COVID season.
So that sucks.
So yeah, and I was like, senior year, coming back senior year, I was like, dang, bro, like if I'm like that junior year, that was my first time playing running back in football, and I only played for a game in 2 quarters, like. So coming back senior year, I was like, they're gonna give me a chance to be a starting running back, and like I was like, if I'm not
only a running back, never. I'll explain it. Only a running back. So keep going. Keep going. Only a running back. We'll just get into it actually. For all of us. So I came back off ACL injury. I came off 4 months. I'm coming back to play for Lunenburg with all the guys. Because, no offense, you're not in a good division compared to, like, Fitchburg playing, like, Shrewsbury and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, knee injury was a little more accepted. Like, it was okay. Who were we playing? Gardner. We were playing Gardner. And if you guys aren't from around the area, Gardner's never been known to be that good. Like, at least our grade level, like when we were growing up, they were never good. So it was always like, oh, it's a freebie. Like, no offense to my gardener guys. Y'all were y'all know who were the ballers. Y'all know who were it. It was our very first play of offense. What was it, a screen pass?
Not even a hook.
Yeah, it was a hook. Credit. It was a little over to your left. No, right. It was this way. It left. So you tried to catch it. It wasn't all your fault. Like, you watched the film back. It wasn't all your fault. And he goes to catch it. It tips it. And then a pick six. We're on goal line though, so like it was easy. But it banned all other running backs from ever receiving another catch. Well, we did in West Coast in like one play. We gave them yards. But yeah, we had plays like we would go out to like on the slot and actually run routes and have some fun and not get killed by all the linebackers. But this kid just had to give a pick six to Gardner High School and ruin it for all of us. I remember you came off the sideline and we all looked at you and we were like,
I was like ready to go take the stat sheet and put it down as a fumble too, because that was Phil's only pick that he threw.
Phil still does not let you live that down to this day.
Yeah, I was like, bro.
Yeah, it was bad. Watching back on film though was pretty entertaining because it looked horrible on film. It looked so bad. It looked really bad on film. From your,
it looked a lot worse than it felt. It felt bad. So
yeah, no, it was pretty bad, Johnny. It was pretty bad. Oh, dude, you can't beat the memories. Like, I think it was such a great thing that we grew up playing sports because, well, all the connections we have now. Like, we have friends from all over the country, which is awesome. Like, especially like, because I got to do the nationals. I played lacrosse too, so I did the travel teams. You played AU, you played travel, so you met some guys out of our town. Yep. But it's really cool to know people from all over. Like, I have friends at BC who are playing college ball for them. Like, it's really cool. Like, I played that kid. It's pretty sick. Like, and most of our boys are playing sports right now, which is crazy. Yeah. So, like, Sam. So, fun fact about Sam, he is way younger than both of us. Way younger. He's in our grade, though. What, did he just turn 19? He just turned 19.
Yeah, it's good.
I think. Sam, I'm sorry if I butchered that. But he's young. But he's big. He's a big dude. He's pretty scary. He's pretty... If you get him mad, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. That's pretty... It's intimidating for a guy his size to get mad at you. But... So what have you been up to? Like, just working out? Pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I'm enjoying the commuting life.
It
gives me a lot more time. Yeah, it gives me a lot more time to focus on my training stuff.
Yeah.
Just stuff around the house. Like, I can chill with the dogs if I want to hang out with the dogs, see my family a little more often. And yeah, I mean, I hit the gym. I do my training stuff, just trying to build that up, make my content, and do my thing.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's just stoked. That's awesome. I'm really proud that you actually found something you like. A lot of people like still struggle with it. Like I still don't know what I want to do. Like, you know, I'm joining the military when I graduate. I'll get commissioned when I graduate. That's because I didn't really know what I want to do. I still don't. Like, what we're doing right now, like podcasts, it's always been something I want. I would love, I think being an influencer of the generation below us and the generation maybe above us is such a positive thing to do. Like, that's why I wanted you on here. The first episode of Life Unplugged was to have someone who's gone through being chubby, being, oh, I don't like what I look like. How do I fix this? And went through the struggles of injuries, and then being motivated to keep doing that. I feel like a lot of people nowadays struggle with that aspect of that self-motivation. So they're just down on themselves. They're like, well, people, like, they'll be watching, like, they'll look up to guys like us. They'll look up to people like that and be like, I can never be that. Like, I know I used to. Like, what? I used to look up to Joe Rivers, and I'm just like, dude squatting 8 plates, like, as a junior in high school, and I'm just like, dude, I can never do that. Yeah. But, like, the work ethic, you just gotta put it into that. And, like, if you guys are actually interested in training aspects, I recommend Johnny. He's a good dude. He doesn't overprice, which is cool. Unless my dad thinks you overprice, then he'll show up at your house. You see lights turn on in the background right now. If that happened, I think you would run. Oh no! Whoa! Weird. We've got the cat. You're like, oh, we're out of here. Yeah. Fun fact, the cat's named Duncan. That's funny. Yeah. Is he still alive?
He's alive. He's alive and well.
Alive and fat?
Yeah. Very.
Yeah, I know that. That's pretty great, dude. That's funny. I think this was great. This is a great start to what I hope will be long episodes. Very.
Yeah, man.
I think you enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna have you on a decent amount. I think we should get a couple of us, like Phil, on here at the same time too. Maybe Sam too. And we'll just go at it. I think more people is better. It'll be funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, I mean, I just want to say, like you said, I found, training, and that's kind of my thing, and this is something that you wanted to do, so taking that step and just doing it and kind of making your mark on what you want to do is step number one. While you're young, like, biggest thing I've learned is you don't want to wait for things to kind of fall in your lap and then work out with them. Like, it's like, you got a chance to do something you love, like, you just got to take it and build it. So,
that goes with everything. Like, I feel like a lot of people just don't want to do anything. They're like, I can't do it. Like, I know I have a lot of friends who look up to me like I'm an older brother, which is really cool. Like, the Quinn brothers.
Yeah.
Love them to death. They're like family. And I take it like I personally think, like, I look at it, I'm like, I need to help, like to motivate these guys. Like, and cool thing about Ryan Quinn actually now, he always asks me questions of like, oh, how do I work out this? How do I do this speed training? I'm like, and he didn't think because he went to the trade school. He didn't think he was going to go to college, but now he has a camp invite to Bryant University, which is D1. And the kid's a stud. Like, the kid's a stud. And I think he didn't have the motivation to do that until he saw that. And I told him he could play college ball. The kid is a talented athlete. And I think that's what we need. We need people to find inspiration. Even if it's like your grandmother, like Osh. Like, you know Osh. Osh is the goat. Like, she's in her 70s. I might be a bad getting stunned. I think she's in her 70s. But she's healthy. She walks every day. She walks the dogs. She shovels. It will be 10 degrees, 6 a.m. And you'll hear, and we're like, oh, look out the window. What are you doing? It's an old lady. It's like, you gotta find the motivation for yourself. Like, you really do. And then when you find that, and you start seeing results in, like, say, your schoolwork, your tests, your workout, maybe money income, you're like, oh, I can actually do it. And I think you're a great person to look at for that. Because you have your own company, you worked for it, you have your own training business, you're fit now. I think you're still trying to get more fit, which is awesome. But yeah, this is great, dude. I appreciate you coming on to the podcast on Life Unplugged.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me on.
So I think we're gonna end it here. So this is Johnny Coppenrath, one of my best friends from home. Grew up with him. Pretty much family. So he's first episode. This was awesome. I appreciate it. You're gonna be on more. So it was awesome. So thank you again.